Thanks. This is it. Let's go for it. On to you.
Welcome to the Cryptid Top Trumps. Over the course of 30 months, myself, Jamie, and my co-host, Shaq, we will be investigating and discussing 30 different paranormal beings and cryptids. And now I hear you saying, why 30? Why 30? Well, this isn't your typical paranormal podcast.
No.
The reason we're doing 30 is because typically in a deck of Top Trumps, there are 30 cards. That's right. We are creating our own deck of Top Trumps. So each episode we will be breaking down a new cryptid into 5 categories and score them out of 100 or 10. On today's episode, we'll be talking about and creating the card for the Goatman.
Oh, guys, I just want to give you guys a little side note as well. I'm coming into this blind. My co-host
You
here...
have no idea what I'm doing.
My co-host here has wrote some stuff down. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where he's going to take me. I don't know if I'm going to end up in like the upside down world.
You might do.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. This could be the first underworld paranormal podcast.
From hell.
From hell. Podcast from hell, aka Twitter. Anyway.
I say the Goatman, but it might be Goatmen. But I will reveal this later.
It reminds me of an enemy from Diablo. Remember the Goatmen with like the spears?
They're very demonic looking.
Yeah,
like a Goatman is like very devil.
Yeah.
So before we actually get into any of the Goatman stuff,
okay,
because this is the first podcast of the Cryptid Top Trumps, let me just run through all the categories that we'll be doing.
Yeah, give us a rundown.
Because they have no idea what the categories are. So as I said, we have 5 categories. First category, paranormal power. So this is like the abilities of the cryptid and any non-physical attributes.
Okay.
So like if they have like telekinetic powers or something. Yeah, magic, yeah.
You know, witchcraft.
Because like we will look at some that have no physical strength or sort of physical attributes of any kind.
It's true. There might be Uster from Black Clover, just no magic.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Notoriety. So that one's sort of self-explanatory, how well known the cryptid is.
Exactly.
Strength. Ooh. So that's physical attributes and like size, weight, height. So if they're big and massive, that will contribute to their score.
Are you a warrior class or are you a mage class?
Exactly.
There you go.
Fear factor. How fucking scary are they?
All right.
And then lastly, just our overall rating. So we call it the Betwixt Ideas overall rating, and that will be scored out of 10.
All right.
And that we will get that score by kind of like not an average, but kind of like it will be based on the previous 4 categories.
Of course.
So. Based on your reaction, I was going to ask you, have you ever heard of the Goatman before?
No.
And what do you know about it so far?
Oh, okay. So I don't know about the specific of a Goatman. However, in mythology and certain little religious texts and stuff, you might see Goatmen maybe on 2 feet, bipedal is what they call it in scientific terms. They might be wielding some kind of staff, maybe like what they call it as a halberd. Like like those axes with like spear on the top. I think they're called a halberd.
Okay, yeah.
So stuff like that. They're quite either warrior or mage or sort of a shaman type looking figures.
Okay, you've kind of got a bit of you're on the right tracks. You're not 100% with this kind of cryptid, but you're getting there.
Occasionally, I see them on Facebook. They appear up on Facebook quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're, in advertisements because they're trying to bring me to the dark side. Anyway.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of happy with... you have, like, a little bit of a base knowledge, and even when you say, like, mythology and everything, like, there's a lot of linking to, like, the... like in Greek mythology, like, the fauns or the half goat, half men type of thing. Yes, like, stuff like that.
Or centaurs or whatever. Yeah, that's
things like that, yeah. Like, if you think of Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Mr. Tumnus, that kind of vibe.
That was a fire movie.
It's a good film.
It's a fucking
good film,
movie.
good book. Watch it.
Ooh, yeah.
So, as I said, it's going to be a bit of Goatmen today.
Oh.
We're going to have the trio.
Like a barbershop quartet of Goatmen?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have the trio, the 3v3 champions So we're looking at 3 different Goatmen today.
Oh shit! They got like, it's not just like a duplicate. It's like
no. There's 3. There's loads of different types of sort of goat hybrid men that have been seen or have been like or encased in like myth and legend, but we're going to be talking about 3 today.
Oh right.
Yeah, you got some excited looks on your faces.
I'm thinking of like a Power Ranger sort of setup with like Goatmen.
Oh yeah, these 3. They're different and similar enough for them to sort of be 3 separate ones, but then kind of all linked together, like maybe one race of Goatmen sort of thing with like different type of like attributes to them.
Can you be racist to Goatmen?
I do not know. We're not gonna question the racism.
Can I create a slur for Goatmen? Now.
Do not worry. I will ask you something in a minute. That is kind of along those lines. So, as I said, they're all very similar, and some are more documented than others. So that's why I've kind of picked 3 rather than just doing 1, because there's not a hell of a lot of evidence on individual ones.
Okay.
So using these 3, there will just be the 1 entry for the Cryptid Top Trumps.
Of course.
So on the card itself, there'll be the 3 motherfuckers on there. And so the ones we'll be looking at, we have the Maryland Goatman.
Ooh, is Maryland in America?
In America, yeah.
Let me
just prove. I have no idea. Let me preface this. They're all from America. And I think a theme going forward in these 30 episodes is a lot of these fuckers are from America.
Do you like, fam? Like there's like a lot of hallucinogens in America and shit. So somebody.
The US government experimented on their people with LSD and shit. So
they did, didn't they?
So I don't know, but yes, Maryland Goatman.
Uh-huh.
I know you've heard of this next one, the Pope Lick Monster.
The fuck?
You've heard of this one because when I pitched this to you ages ago, I remember us laughing at the Pope Lick Monster.
The Pope Lick Monster?
Yes, which is the Kentucky Goatman.
Oh, I get it. You know, Kentucky Fried Chicken finger.
No, I think the place is I think it's a lake or something, and it's called Pope Lick. Yeah, it's not that imaginative.
Damn.
And the Lake Worth Monster, which is the Texas Goatman.
Now, the Texas Goatman sounds threatening because you're from Texas already.
So this is what I'm going to ask you, Shaq.
Okay.
Can you please give these 3 Goatmen names? I want them to have names. Going forward, I want them to have names. So we've got Maryland Goatman. We call Maryland Goatman, Pope Lick Monster, which is Kentucky, Lake Worth Monster, which is Texas Goatman.
So the Texas one, the Texas Goatman, which is already going to be a fire film that I'm going to put out in summer 2023. I'm going to call him Avery Hoof.
Avery Hoof.
Avery Hoof. He has a cowboy hat because, of course, everyone in Texas has a cowboy hat. If you're not wearing a cowboy hat in Texas, you'll get shot. So you have to wear one. He's also wearing a red handkerchief. All right. And just also, he wears shoes. I know it sounds crazy. That's why I call him Hoof, because you can't see his hoofs. He wears cowboy shoes.
So we've got Avery Hoof from Texas.
And he doesn't have a gun on him. But however, when he sticks his like hand or his hoof,
they might have weapons.
Oh, they might have weapons?
They might have weapons.
Well, he doesn't have a gun. I'm just letting you know now.
Well, none of them have guns.
All right, cool. Avery Hoof, first guy.
Avery Hoof is is the Texas Goatman.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland Goatman.
Maryland Goatman, I'm going to call him Samuel. No last name.
Just Samuel.
Just Samuel.
So Samuel from Maryland.
Samuel from Maryland. So he wears a biker jacket.
Yep.
I think it might have the Hell's Angel patch on it.
Yep.
No affiliation though. He doesn't roll with the Hell Angels, but how he's allowed to have that patch.
Okay.
Don't ask me any questions. I don't want to get killed. Secondly, he carries around a small bowl, no more than about 2 inches tall, of hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
That he can drink, and when he drinks, he just nothing happens really. He just kind of
no effect.
Oh, actually, sorry. He starts speaking old Latin language.
Okay.
So he can speak Latin language once he drinks a bottle of hydrogen peroxide.
Okay. And finally, the Pope Lick Monster, which is the Kentucky Goatman.
Pope Lick Monster is going to be. I'm going to say his name is Paula Anderson.
Paula Anderson.
Her name is Paula.
Anderson. It's a lady one.
It's a lady, Paula Anderson, right? And she specializes in alchemy.
Okay. Do you know what? There's a bit of magic with this one. So when we get into it, yeah.
She wears a purple blouse and grey work trousers and black high heels.
Okay, so we have,
and she actually works, so she does a little bit of local stuff. So she works in HR for like a startup tech company
in Kentucky. Okay, so we have Avery Hoof.
Baddest one there. Avery
Hoof.
Very aggressive.
Samuel,
bit of a loner, but however he's twice as dangerous.
Okay, and Paula Anderson.
Smartest one there.
Okay.
IQ of 10,000.
Okay. Okay. This is a good squad.
It's a very dangerous squad.
Guys, if you have great imagination and you can picture these three in your head right now, intimidating.
Yeah.
Intimidating. So I'll kick off with the Maryland Goatman.
Maryland Goatman? So that is... Samuel. Okay.
Sorry, I'll refer to Maryland Goatman as Samuel. Samuel, the Maryland Goatman. Mm-hmm. Or woman with Paula Anderson.
Paula Anderson.
So the Maryland Goatman, Samuel, lives obviously in Maryland and is sort of home to in the woods in Prince George's County in Maryland. I don't know where the fuck that is, but the woods, forest out there.
Yeah, a lot of weird things happen in the woods.
Oh, of course, yeah. And sort of this cryptid rose to fame when a lot of dogs went missing and died.
Yeah.
Sort of in the 60s and 70s. So a lot of people were blaming the Goatman. And then in the 70s, there was a lot of sightings of the Goatman in, I think it's Bowie, which is a sort of a similar surrounding area. So this will obviously help with some of the categories going forward. The accounts of like the descriptions of the Goatman from Maryland vary. They say it's humanoid with a relatively human face, covered in like hair.
So it sounds like Samuel here is using a lot of that skin from the dogs to turn himself into a full man.
Maybe
I think they call him. Maybe that's why they could dub him like Pinocchio.
Hey.
Ooh.
Possibly.
Ooh.
And then sort of
give me a fucking book deal.
The height of the Maryland Goatman Samuel vary with everything little. The little sort of sightings from 4 foot going to 12 foot being the tallest, but the most accounts say anything between 6 to 8 feet. So sort of slightly taller than humans. 6 to 8 foot.
That's a.
I mean, 8 foot would be fucking
Samuel
huge.
should be in the NBA.
And they say when you piss off Samuel, the Maryland Goatman, he makes a high-pitched squealing sound.
Yeah. It's the sound of like sticking a wrench in a printer.
Okay, yeah.
Very distressing.
I'm apologising for that. So stories sort of started to circulate that the Goatman makes his home somewhere in the forested area of Prince George's County, as I said earlier, which, as I said, is close to this Bowie place in Maryland, and he lives in sort of a makeshift shelter. So I'm thinking like a
shanty town kind of.
No, I'm thinking like a little shack or cabin in the woods type of vibe.
Oh.
And then so sort of from time to time, the Goatman comes out of this little makeshift like cabin or shelter to kill stray dogs.
I'm calling him the Wolf Warden.
The Wolf Warden. Oh wait, but this isn't the worst that he's done. He comes out and kills dogs, stray dogs, or he beats on random cars with an axe. So he comes out and attacks your fucking car with an axe.
I'm sorry. They can't hold an axe. They haven't got thumbs.
See, I think what it has is like, it's got like a goat head, human face, like a goat body, a human body, and then like a goat kind of like leg, sort of hoovy sort of thing.
In my head, I'm drumming up like a sort of early 2000s kind of like bipedal cartoon goat wearing the leather jacket and shit.
Bipedal standing on 2 legs. Yeah.
So I don't think they have like thumbs or fingers or anything.
These Goatmen with one goat woman, have hands, have human-like hands. The hooves are just for the feet. So the Maryland Goatman Samuel He holds an axe and swings at cars.
What kind of axe are we talking? I mean, it's like a normal, like, sort of wood cutting axe, or it's a fireman's axe?
That's a good question. The reports that I've seen when I was doing my research is like a dual-bladed axe.
Oh,
so
shit!
So like a battle axe from like medieval times.
Oh, he's a warrior class. Damn.
He is a warrior class.
That's a barbarian class from Diablo right there.
He's straight up raw physical strength, this guy.
Oh, nice. But
when we get into some of the other ones, there are a bit more sort of mystical powers going on.
Ooh. Okay, so we got a warrior class right here.
So we got a warrior class. So there's different sort of origin stories of this Goatman. Okay. Samuel, for example. Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, Samuel could be a good name because there's the mad scientist explanation that. There was this scientist who was working in an agricultural research center nearby, and had experiment with goats which backfired, and the scientist was then mutilated into half man, half goat monster.
So he's Neo Cortex from Crash Bandicoot.
Kind of, yeah.
Damn.
He sort of spliced himself with it backfired and he mutated with a goat. And I mean, a mad scientist, he might have been called Samuel. And that's why he's called Samuel.
Isn't that the plot to The Fly? I swear it's like a
kind of half man, half fly. Yeah. A little bit, yeah. Huh. But I mean, and because he's like insane from all this he just attacks cars in the area with an axe. There's the crazy hermit sort of origin story, which is that there was a crazy man living in the woods, and he would sort of dress up as a goat and fucking attack people. Sort of probably the most believable.
My thing is, where do you get a fucking battle axe in the 70s, bro? Because
maybe he made it.
I don't know. Like, he doesn't seem like it's kind of.
I mean, the reports do differ a lot because the ones that I've seen, it's like blood-stained, dual-bladed axes.
Oh, he has two axes now.
No. Sorry, axe. It's a dual-bladed axe. Sorry, I said axes, didn't I?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how you can easily, get your hands on a double axe. Like,
I don't know. But have you ever been in the market for one?
I guess not. You know what? Maybe I'm coming in from a place of ignorance. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe it is very easy to get one, and it's America.
You can probably get
Probably go to your Walmart.
Yeah, pick up your local axe from
guys from America. Please let us know if you can go to Walmart or Target and get a dual-bladed axe.
You probably can.
Because I want to know that. Let us know in the comments below.
Yo, there was that guy with the fucking bow and arrow in the fucking riots.
Yeah,
he got fucked up.
That's what I mean.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
So the very last sort of origin story is the goat herder. So there was a man who worked with goats. He herded goats. He went super pissed and berserk when he discovered a few teenagers killing his goats.
Okay, I've already called them bullshit on that. Teenagers don't kill goats. They push over cows.
Hey, it's the 70s.
The teenagers in the 70s are running away from home.
It's America.
America is a very, sketchy land. But however, teenagers aren't killing goats. They're probably setting them free. Let the goats free, man.
And they're like, yeah, because we're talking so that kind of gets onto it. So it's like the sort of the first reports of the Maryland Goatman, they vary so much. Like, I've looked at so many sources and they say the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, but so I won't date anything per se. So some of the earliest ones that I found was that in Prince George's County, a young couple was spending a lovely evening together.
It's always a young couple.
Oh, they were at a make-out spot as well. They were in their car, make-out point.
Why do Americans have make-out spots? We don't have make-out spots in the UK.
We don't have it, do we?
We just go to Crystal Palace Park.
I'm not going to say nothing. But yeah, they were in their car, making out, as they do. Young couple, getting it on, being freaky. And then they were interrupted by a loud banging on the car hood.
They weren't banging.
They weren't banging. The car was making the banging sound.
Oh.
Then they looked up and they see this hairy, horned beast wielding a double-bladed axe.
With a name tag that said Samuel.
And the name tag that said Samuel. And the creature then just ran off into the woods.
Oh.
I know, but it's just the first sighting.
Okay.
Or one of the first sightings.
That was the filler arc.
Oh no, that was the introduction. It was like hello.
Oh, so like in your animes, like you got like the first sort of minute where it's like you just show like the mysterious thing.
It shows the figure. It's like in silhouetted.
And now we're looking at the intro music.
Yeah.
And it's really high pace.
We go forward a few years with this one, or so the reports suggest. There was another couple out on a date.
So he's an incel.
He might be. Another couple who were out on a date when they heard scratching on the outside of their car. They turned the lights on. They said they were on a date, but they were probably doing the make-out point, like banging,
like,
whatever.
Becky, I've been looking at you for a long time. The way that you made my root beer float was delectable. Please, let me place my hand on your thigh.
Yeah.
Right by your pantyhose.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like 50s erotica or some shit. I'll go
We can do that. We can do that as an episode. We can just talk like 50s erotica.
50s erotica.
But, yeah, so they turned on the lights and there was a fucking Goatman there. Or there was Samuel there. There was the Maryland Goatman Samuel. And then it started running at them. And it managed to hit the car with the axe. As they drove off. And the car only got a scratch, but the Goatman went for the swing. He swung that axe. And then this was sort of the most disturbing case I found. I mean, the reports say it was in the 80s. So there was a woman walking around, wandering in her front yard, backyard. I'm not sure. Front garden or back garden. We don't say yard in this country. And she saw a goat-like humanoid wandering around.
Samuel wasn't wearing his leather jacket. He traded his leather jacket because we're in the 80s now, so he's put on the thriller jacket this time.
Yeah.
He's keeping up with trends.
Yeah. And he's wandering around this woman's yard. And then she went out because her dogs started barking like mad.
Oh no. It's like, no, my ancestors told me about you.
It was in the middle of the night. So picture it. She's in bed, middle of the night. Dogs start barking. She goes downstairs. She sees this goat figure. Humanoid figure in her garden, front garden, whatever. Too frightened when she saw the Samuel, she stayed in her house all night. Didn't fall asleep, obviously. She probably clutching that fucking shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
And then when she went outside the next day, her dogs were decapitated.
Decapitated?
And it looked like it had been by an axe.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm sorry.
To cut off a dog's head, you're gonna
wake the neighbors up.
Well, this is the thing though. In America, there might not be any neighbors. It might just be that lone house in the middle of nowhere. She got her dog. She got like her 4 or 5 dogs.
So did she hear like dogs squealing?
No, she heard dogs barking. She went downstairs, saw the Goatman. She was like, "Fuck that! I'm not going out there." And then in the morning when she went outside. Dog heads.
I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on that. Because you know what I'm calling bullshit on that? No one can sleep through a dog getting his head cut off. I don't care if you're off like 3 Percocets, a gallon of lean, and a fucking like heroin shot or whatever the fuck. You are not sleeping through a dog getting his head cut off. I've slept through a hurricane. Well, no, tornado, excuse me. I don't think I could sleep through a dog. That noise is specific. Like, I don't get it. I'm calling bullshit. She was just high. She was high.
We don't know.
I don't understand like the couples one, but that sounds like something out of like an old movie from like the 60s.
But this is the thing. These were in the 60s, so the movies could have based it on these reports.
That is true. I still believe there's probably like some goatmen in the woods because that just sounds so like.
What do you think of Samuel though?
Samuel, he has a little bit of communication issues, of course, stabbing stuff. They
do say he has intense bloodlust as well.
He's just horny. That's the same thing.
Okay.
No. Someone's going to take that out of context.
Should we move on to the Kentucky Goatman, the Pope Lick Monster, which we called... Was that Avery? No, that was Paula. I'm sorry.
Paula, yeah. Paula works in HR for the upcoming tech company.
Paula Anderson, the Pope Lick Monster. So... This one's a little bit shorter, and so is the Lake Worth Monster, or what was it? Avery Hoof, the Texas Goatman.
So Paula and Avery put in less work.
They put in less work, but they're just as They're just as sort of not famous. That's not the right word. Not infamous either. But they're just as well. They're documented, but
they're
less
local. They're local name brands.
Yes, they are. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So Paula, Pope Lick Monster.
All right.
Is said to be part man or part woman, part goat, with a bit of sheep mixed in there.
Oh.
But sometimes a bit of sheep in there. So the reports kind of say goatman sheep. So it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag.
Interesting.
So as I said earlier,
how would that work? Realistic, like, if I was to breed a sheep of a goat, you got
I'm not
a shoat.
100% sure.
I'm gonna make some geep.
Geep.
Ooh.
I mean, might be delicious.
Curry geep.
Ooh. So Paula Pope Lick sort of lives by a railroad bridge over Floyd Fort Creek in Fishville, which is near Louisville in Kentucky.
Interesting. Okay.
So in most sort of accounts, the reason the Pope Lick Monster is called that is because one of the creeks that are there is called the Pope Lick Creek. And I just said it was the Floyd Fork Creek, but there's a Pope Lick Creek as well.
Okay.
So as I said, sort of a human goat hybrid. Sometimes we have a bit of a sheep mixed in. I think this is where it sort of it's described to be very powerful. Fur instead of hair, so maybe that's where the sheep kind of comes in.
So she's put a little bit of like Cantu, like As I Am, like. So those are the black hair products you wouldn't know.
I know, but no, I've heard of them.
Oh yeah, she put a little bit of Cantu in the fur, looking a bit prim and proper.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's sort of.
Who's she impressing? Who's she trying to scoop up?
Maybe Samuel.
Nah, I don't think Samuel. I think it's Samuel's asexual.
Or Avery Hoof.
I think Samuel's asexual, but he hasn't found who he truly finds attractive.
Okay.
So that's why he's angry.
So that there's like has horns and everything, and sort of like greasy hair and fur covering the whole body and legs. So according to sort of the legends, unfortunately I couldn't really find any sort of sightings for this person. So I don't know if this is more sort of urban legend, but some things don't get documented too well. So I'm going to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's true. Everything before computers that basically were the Stone Age. So no.
Yeah, and I'm talking like most of these were sort of like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, so they were basically like drowning witches at that time. So it was a long time.
We're talking, before we were born.
Like, guys, imagine it was before YouTube. So think about it. It's like black and white movies.
Before camera phones.
So like we were banging stones against other stones to try and make sound.
Yeah, effectively.
Yeah.
So as I said, it's all sort of like legends exist in sort of the area, and the creature's origins and methods it employs to claim its victims. So this is where the magic comes in. We got a bit of the mage class here.
All right, we got mage class.
So according to some accounts, the creature can use, or Paula, sorry, I won't say creature, I'm being very rude. Paula Anderson
from HR
can use hypnosis.
Oh shit.
Or voice mimicry to lure victims in. And so
she's a fucking siren.
Yeah. She, from what I can tell, she doesn't have like an axe or anything. So she lures people in for trains to hit them. You know, I said it was over a train bridge.
Oh, now that is. Yeah,
it's techie.
That's very
very technical. Very good. Well, you said she was the smartest as well.
I told you.
You said 10,000 IQ.
10,001 IQ.
10,001 IQ. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's think.
So hypnosis and voice mimicry.
So
you imagine, you're out at night by a bridge. You hear Olivia's voice. Be like, yo, Shaq, come over here.
But Olivia's right there.
No, but where she won't with you?
Oh, no, she wouldn't come with me in the woods.
No, you're not in the woods. You're just walking, and there's a train bridge.
Oh.
Be like, oh, yo, Shaq, come over here.
Oh.
But like, what are you doing here?
I'm already know that's fucked up because she would never be out like at this time.
Hey, but but it would pique your interest.
It would, yeah. I might have to investigate, unfortunately.
And then as soon as you get close enough, hypnosis.
But that's a 60% accurate move in Pokemon.
It is.
So that might not hit me.
But for Paula, with that IQ...
100%?
100%.
Oh no, she used Mind Reader as well. Lock on? Fuck.
Exactly.
She popped like several X-accuracies before the match began, so...
It's game over.
Damn, fuck.
You're restarting at the poker
Do I have a Chesto Berry?
No.
I got no Chesto Berry? Fuck!
You came out with nothing.
Damn!
You thought you were just going for a stroll.
I'm asleep!
You don't even have the flute with you.
I'm fucking asleep. Damn it.
So, yeah. Pope Lick Monster, Paula Anderson herself, would hypnosis and voice mimicry people onto the train tracks, and trains would fuck them up.
Damn.
And then there's sort of other stories as well that Pope Lick Monster, Paula Anderson, Miss Paula Anderson would jump onto cars from the fucking bridge as they were passing. Damn. So you're driving, bang, onto your car.
Oh, that's like some 1994 action movie shit.
Oh, and even here as well, I forgot about this. And when they do jump down, when she does jump down onto your car, they say that it has a bloodstained axe. So she got an axe as well.
She's cheating. You're meant to be a maid. You can't, unless she's a warlock.
Aye.
That actually makes more sense. She's a warlock. She's a magical warrior. So if you got the axe, really, listen. I'm gonna put this one out for Beelzebub, loose of all them niggas. Listen, how you just have axes in hell, bro? You ain't got no katanas. You ain't got no like great swords.
Maybe it's the
swords.
brutality of what an axe is. They favour. A katana is a very elegant weapon.
Yeah,
it's an elegant instrument of death.
Listen, Lucifer, you gotta get your swagger, bro. You can't like back. I don't know.
They want that. They don't want that sharp axe. They want that axe that is sharp enough, but kind of blunt at the same time, so it leaves like.
I gotta get like a tetanus shot now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Even if it scratches you.
I don't know, man. Listen, man. I think hell's weaponry gotta be a little bit more. I know they want the brutality of it, but what do you get a Morning Star? Like,
that's quite brutal as well, yeah.
That'd be dope. I want to see.
You want to see a cryptid with a Morning Star?
Hell yeah! Put that in the fucking like.
Do you know what? I'll do my research and I'll see if I can find a cryptid that wields a Morning Star.
We need that, man. Like axes are cool, but like, I don't know, man. You gotta come better than that, bro.
A cryptid with a Morning Star. Beautiful.
With a Morning Star, man.
Do you know what? And this is probably the most unsettling detail that even some legends and reports of Paula say that even the sight of her makes you jump off the fucking bridge in suicide.
Oh.
So, like, she's very different to Samuel, but in some ways more powerful.
How can you be uglier than Samuel? Like, Samuel's meant to be really ugly in my head.
I'm not saying they're ugly. They're just sort of goat people.
Jump with the sun. I don't know. Maybe it could be the hypnosis. Maybe it's a part of the hypnosis that makes you jump off.
It's a very good point.
Because I know men. I am a man.
We are a man.
We men.
We man.
Men. But I know some disgusting, degenerate man out there would have attempted to fuck the goat woman.
Possibly.
I know that. I know there's someone.
Well, maybe that's why. There's this version of the Goatman race, Paula being the only female Goatman. She has hypnosis, so she can ward off these men that try to advance on her. It's a possibility.
Who's really horny, the goat or the man?
My God!
Ooh.
Stop the podcast.
Ooh. I'm the real philosopher.
And so we're going to have a bit of an origin story for Paula now.
Okay, movie just come out. We could do some origin, new MCU shit. Let's go.
So some of the origin stories say that it was a circus freak that vowed revenge after being mistreated. So not necessarily a goat person, but sort of a freaky person.
It was the bearded woman. It was the bearded woman.
And they say that she looked like a goat.
Yep. You know what? I already figured it out. What are you figuring out, man?
And yeah, so she swore revenge after being mistreated at the circus. So revenge on humanity.
And they used to transfer all the circus people on the trains.
This is the thing.
You see.
And then there's another version of the origin saying that the Paula escaped after a train derailed on that bridge.
aka the Modern Warfare 2 map.
Well, in the yes, and they link the stories about Pope Lick Monster Paula to a legend of like the ghost train. So it's sort of like
the ghost
which
train.
Apparently has also been sighted on that bridge as well, a ghost train.
What's our idea of the ghost train like? Because when I think of ghost train, I think of like this really run down.
No, do you know what I think of? I think of the boss from Cuphead.
Yes.
That's it.
See,
perfect.
I think that's more than enough proof to know that there's a ghost train out there. Yeah. Because why would anyone draw something in the 1930s, 30s rubber hose style and say they made it up?
And it doesn't exist, yeah? It's like, yeah, this
that's
real.
illegal.
Maybe it's this ghost train.
You're not allowed to lie in cartoons. It's illegal.
No.
Like,
no.
You can't do that.
And then sort of this is my favourite sort of origin. They say that it was that the Pope Lick Monster was a twisted reincarnation of a farmer that sacrificed goats in exchange of satanic powers.
That doesn't make any sense because you know why? Every farmer is a devout Christian. Have you watched Babe?
Well, maybe it was the farmer's wife.
Farmer's wife. No, she's a devoted Christian. Like she goes to church more than the farmer.
Maybe she caught the farmer, her husband, cheating, and she sacrificed some goats to get some power to kill him, and that's why she kills men that make advances on her. See, we're making a full-on backstory here.
See, the thing is though, like, I'm sorry, farmers don't really got game like that. I don't even feel like a farmer flirted with another woman.
Could have been in the congregation at church on Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know, Shaq. This is the thing.
I know, we don't know. But at the same time, I don't want to think that a farmer may commune with dark forces. Because...
Who's the farmer's wife? I'm not saying the farmer.
Then again, you ever read Animal Farm?
No.
I could probably believe that could be the case in that. I read Animal Farm. They probably... Maybe on something. Maybe onto something. All right.
And then we move on. Very, very... brief one with Avery Hoof. The Lake Worth Monster, which is the Texas Goatman. Very, 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 very little information on Mr. Avery.
He's the big boss, right?
Oh, so he gets people to do the shit for him.
So that's why Samuel's the grunt. All right.
The brute kind of.
Yeah, like Paula is like the
head of HR.
Head of HR, yeah. So she kind of keeps things in check a little bit. She's the organizer.
She's the one that gives Samuel the orders.
Yeah,
But she takes her orders from Avery.
Exactly.
I'm with you. So Avery Hoof, the Lake Worth Monster, Texas Goatman, obviously is another legend from Texas. If you didn't know that already. And this, again, in the 60s and 70s, people started to believe in reports of a half goat, half man. And this is a little bit weird, this one, with fur and scales. Scales,
He's a dragon. Dragon goat. Oh.
This is what I mean. They're all kind of very similar but very different at the same time.
That sounds like an anime from like the 80s. Dragon goat.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd watch that.
I would fucking watch the hell out of that.
And again, this goat man, Avery, has been known to jump onto cars. So all of them jump onto cars, sort of fucking up the bodywork by denting them, and throwing tires at people. Which apparently, a group of 10 people witnessed and testified that tires were being thrown at them by a goat man.
This sounds like a bizarro version of Donkey Kong. Instead of barrels, it's tires.
Hey, it works.
I feel like if you were to play the Donkey Kong theme backwards, you would probably summon like Avery Hoof.
Yeah.
That sounds like some yeah. So when did Avery do his bidding? Was it like the 60s as well?
60s and 70s, from what I can see. Again, there's no sightings for the Lake Worth Monster, but so Avery Hoof, he's sort of a bit more cloak and dagger. He's only been spotted in some reports. Or some reports by, as I said, throwing tires, jumping on cars, only a couple of times. Less information about him.
Interesting. That's difficult. It's difficult to say what his intentions are, really.
Maybe he just likes fucking cars up.
I think he got hit by a car.
And that's why he fucks up cars.
I think that's why he orders all of them to hit cars. Yeah, the vendetta.
He doesn't carry an axe, by the way. So he doesn't get his hands dirty, apart from throwing the tires. You
know, I'm starting to think Avery Hoof is drawing an image of of Negan from like Walking Dead. I'm getting that kind of
big
vibe.
boss vibe.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That was very good.
Thank you. He's on Tekken, so I've been like playing him.
Of course he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get into the categories?
Go ahead. Let's get into them. Let's rank these bitches.
So out of 100, paranormal power. So we're gonna rank we're gonna as a 3.
Yeah. The collective.
The collective, perfect. Yeah. So these are the abilities that they might have. So Samuel, the Maryland Goatman, and Avery Hoof, the Texas Goatman, or the Lake Worth monster. They don't really have any non-physical attributes.
Yeah, they're just 0 right there. I have to give them a hard 0. They're not really showing any magic. Actually, that's kind of cheating. Because I was going to say, for them...
I wouldn't give them a 0. I'd give them sort of a low, maybe like 20 or something.
I'll give them a base 10. I think a lot of these like sort of paranormal cryptid people have to have a base 10 because they are paranormal per se.
Yes, they are magical, or in a sense, or they do have some essence of a paranormal power.
They get a base.
And also as well, I would kind of say like with Samuel, the Maryland Goatman, with some of the stories, it being the first one, the scientist, that's quite paranormal, quite like a Frankenstein's monster type of thing. Like he mutated with a goat. That's quite paranormal.
I don't know. When I think of like, if I was mutating something, right? I think
it's very scientific, but I think it's very paranormal. But I think because of Paula Anderson, the Pope Lick monster, the Kentucky Goatwoman, sorry, she has abilities.
She does. I think
as a collective, and I don't like. We can go.
I'm gonna give them a 50.
I mean, I would go. They don't have to be bang on 0s and 5s, by the way. They can be...
No, of course. I think...
We can do... I'm going to say... I think hypnosis and voice mimicry, that's quite strong.
True. Like, hypnosis is quite strong.
But I think
voice mimicry is like, all right, I've seen Police Academy. I know what that guy can do. So...
Oh, yeah. I suppose because there's, like, videos of people doing, like, impressions of people, and that's kind of like voice mimicry.
Yeah. But if we're talking like literally dead on, so I think I'll give her, just for her alone, I think her powers are about a 40.
What about as a collective then?
I'll give that a 50.
See, I want to say maybe like a 57.
So you're going on to more of a higher.
Just because of Paula.
No, Paula is definitely there. I think the two guys drag her down a bit because not really exuding a lot of magical abilities. They're just kind of.
Should we say a 52 then?
You know what? I'll give you a 55. I'll give you a 55.
A 55?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go 55. Okay. So notoriety. Is it again self-explanatory? How well known? I think Samuel is quite well known. When people talk about the Goatman,
there's a lot of evidence for Samuel.
It's the Maryland Goatman they refer to. So I think So we're not with notoriety. When we think of 100 out of 100, we're thinking Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. We're thinking those types of big ones. I would put this one relatively high.
How high are we talking?
I would say maybe like a 68.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So goats are synonymous with the devil, and he is like the 1,000 out of 100 in terms of paranormal. He's literally like.
If we say the Goatman, people conjure up images of a sort of biblical devil,
like Baphomet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like, I think the imagery itself is quite notorious, but the specific goat men or the goat men and women that we've discussed today, as I said, I think I'd give them a solid 68.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, think of it this way, like, you know Niles Barkley, right? But do you know DJ Danger Mouse?
Well, I do.
I know DJ Danger Mouse because he did some cool shit back in the day. But people might not know who DJ... They might know CeeLo Green.
Everyone knows CeeLo Green.
Absolutely. But they don't know DJ Danger Mouse. So, as a collective, I think that the notoriety probably brings that. Individual, maybe not so much.
I think if we were doing individual, I would place the Maryland Goatman higher than a 68. I'd possibly give that sort of low to mid 70s.
You know what? I'm gonna say.
But I think as a collective, I think 68.
All right. Just based on some activities, a lot of people have seen things, a lot of people have reported things. Goats are very, just being a goat itself, a mystical goat, definitely earns you a lot of points because that's synonymous with the big D.
I will say as well in my reports that a lot of the Maryland Goatman, Samuel, he got a lot of national press as well in America.
Oh, yeah, he got on the airwaves.
He got a lot of national press.
Ooh, okay. You know what?
Because there was quite a few dogs that went missing and ended up killed, and that sort of made, I think it was like the Washington Post and everything, and like
interesting. Okay. I
did not put that fact in my sheet there, but it's something that I do remember when reading.
Fact right there from free. Okay.
But that's why I think I would say a 68, because I don't think they're like, if I say cryptid to you, you think Bigfoot, you think Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, I think like the Banshee or something like that.
A Banshee, yeah.
I think something very ominous.
But even I would say Banshee is like a step below like Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster.
Easily.
But then I think this is like several steps below, but still kind of like, I knew of the Goatman before I did my research.
I would say they're probably in that sort of C+ tier, bordering on B-. Yeah,
so
like they're just shy from B-.
So that's what I'm saying, a 68 out of 100.
I'm with you on that.
You're going to go 68 as well?
Yeah.
Lovely. So then we have strength.
Okay.
This one is quite high, I think.
This one is quite high because they do have axes, do have weapons, and they are deading up cars.
And also when including in strength, we have to remember as well is like height, size, and weight. So they're humanoid, so they're not the biggest, but they are up to 12 foot. Well, Samuel sightings have been up to 12 foot. Yeah, if we talk about the average of 6 to 8 foot, we're talking bigger than an average human. But if we're thinking like, again, like a Loch Ness Monster, that's a fucking massive thing.
Oh yeah, that's a kaiju.
Exactly.
That's what they call them back in kaijus. So I'm gonna say I would put strength like 81.
See, I was gonna say like 75. So we can split the difference if you like.
Because personally,
I think it's because it's humanoid and it's not the biggest that we will.
That's I think I've got to think about the future ones as well. So
yeah, I'm trying to be very careful on like what we could be doing next in terms of like actual physical size. Strength, I'm with you. It's obviously stronger than a human.
It's stronger than a human.
If it's jumping it's humanoid. So it's as I said, the average heights that we got, and we only got average heights for Samuel, the Maryland Goatman, was about 6 to 8 feet. So we're talking just a bit taller than a human, but I'm saying they're probably a lot stronger than a human. So that's what I'm saying. I think about 75. If you say 81, I'm happy to split the difference and say maybe like a 77, 78.
I'll go for that.
Yeah? I'll do 77. 77. Fear factor.
Oh.
How scary is this cryptid? As a collective,
it's quite scary. There's a collective of them with all various different powers. So they got their warrior, they got their leader class, which is he has a lot of good coordination skills, and you have your mid class, the warlock class, only with a lot of intelligence, but also some good trapping spells as well. So
I think the fear factor is quite high on this.
It's a quite high one. I might have to say 85.
I would have said low 80s, maybe like an 81, 82. So I'm happy to go
83.
Should we go 83?
83.
Because I mean these are quite scary.
These are quite scary. So
because I will say as well, and like I will say Bigfoot. Bigfoot isn't scary.
He's not scary. I'm more curious about
exactly. But these, if you saw a goat wielding an axe, that's quite terrifying.
Yeah, my heart might stop.
Do you know what? I'm tempted to put this up from an 83.
Ooh,
I'm tempted to go to like 87.
87.
If I saw a goat man standing at 8 foot tall in front of my car on a deserted road with an axe, I'm maximum scared.
See, I got the car though, so I can get away, but it's still scary. It's still very scary. I'm gonna stand on 85. I'm standing on 85. That's the most I can do.
Okay, we'll stick with the. Do you know what? I'll change it to an 85 because I want to go up.
If I didn't have the car, that's a 95. But then I have a car. It's an 85.
Yeah, most sightings have been with cars. We did have that lady though that heard it in the garden.
Yeah, but I'm in the house.
True, and he didn't come in the house.
It didn't.
There are also no accounts that he's ever killed any humans.
You see.
So we only have the dogs with the Maryland Goatman Samuel, and then obviously with Paula Anderson and Avery Hoof.
But if you're
there's
Snoop
nothing
Dogg,
being killed.
What happens if you're Snoop Dogg?
Would have to ask Snoop.
Ah, damn.
Guys, tweet Snoop.
Tweet Snoop, man. What happens?
God, imagine him like blaze out of his head. Like what if you saw a Goatman Snoop? Please tweet Snoop, everyone.
Oh my God.
And then
amazing.
sort of the final category, taking into account the previous 4 that we've just done, is the Betwixt Ideas overall rating. And this is just out of 10.
This is
no
good.
point. No points. A solid number.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I'm stuck between either a 7 or an 8. I'm very stuck.
I was between a 6 or a 7.
7.
Should we go 7?
Let's go 7.
Let's go 7. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
That is pretty good. And that is the first one. So, like, you know,
that's the first one. I wanted to start strong with the first one.
That is a good one.
I wanted to start strong.
That's a good one.
I definitely wanted to start strong. Yeah, like...
If there was one more Goatman that was a tank class that can literally hold down any sort of attacks.
Do you know what, yeah? There was and obviously this isn't being included in this. There was a sort of a goat cow man.
Ooh.
And he was a bit of a tanky fucker that I was looking at. But again, he had very, very, very little.
So it wasn't a lot of information. You
No,
really
it was
say,
even less than Avery.
So it's like Pluto not being a planet, sort of thing.
Effectively, yeah.
Okay, all right. See, if he was there, then you have yourself like an easy like a raid mob right there. That they're going in, they're getting the loot, they're beating the boss.
They're coming out alive. No injuries.
No injuries, no rage quitting, no disconnecting. They're good.
But I do like this trio.
It's good.
And I love the names that you gave them.
See,
I love the names.
Trios are like, listen, think of
I don't know if we have many non-singular cryptids going forward, but I thought this is the first episode. This is a special one. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go with a high and do the Goatman or the Goatmen and women.
The only trio that can match up to this trio is A Tribe Called Quest.
Yes,
and
I would love to see that battle.
They're not really a trio anymore, unfortunately.
Nah.
Rest in peace, Five Dog. But yeah.
And you know what? I think that just about wraps up today's episode.
That wraps it up, people.
Let us know what you thought of today's episode. Any suggestions on what cryptid we should investigate next, by emailing us at thebetwixtideasfeedback@gmail.com. That is thebetwixtideasfeedback@gmail.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter at Betwixt Ideas, our Instagram at the Betwixt Ideas Podcast, and our TikTok at the Betwixt Ideas Podcast. I don't know if I said at the beginning, but this is a monthly podcast. They will be dropping on the first Friday of every month. So we will see you next month for the next episode. Thank you for listening, and bye.
Peace out.
Bye. Bye.